my next special guest, Glain Rhys. Take a listen.
Amazing. Okay, so my first question for you is describe your love and passion for theatre and performing, and where do you think it stems from?
Okay, so I've always wanted to perform, and from a really young age. I know it sounds cliche, but I've never really imagined myself doing anything else.
Okay.
So when you're a kid and they're at school and they ask you what you want to do, I wanted to be a singer, and that was just what I wanted to do. I got into theatre really when I started listening to one of the first musicals I ever listened to. It's a Welsh musical by a Welsh theatre company, and it's called Anne. And the people who know me will know how much I love that musical. I could probably sing you all 4 parts throughout the whole score. But that, and also Lionel Bart's Oliver. I'm obsessed with that show. Probably the 2 first proper shows I've seen. So I used to, perform them to my family with using like a pipe cleaner as a radio mic.
That's so cute.
And I'd stand on the bed, and that would be my stage. And I mean, yeah, I never really imagined myself doing anything else. I thought for a while that I wanted to be, a teacher, but then it always went back to performing.
Yeah, amazing. So tell us about your training and how important you think that was for you.
Okay, well, I trained at BA Perfformio in Cardiff for 2 years through the medium of Welsh, and then I went on to do an MA degree at the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama, which was a great experience. And I initially, when I was applying for university, wanted to go and do Welsh. I wanted to do a degree in Welsh. But then around my exams time, I kind of went, I'm not feeling it. I don't want to do another 3 years of academic work.
Yeah.
So I declined all my choices, and my mum was like, what are you doing? And I called up BA Perfformio because I'd been on an open day, and I just thought, have you got space? And they were like, actually, yeah, can you come down next Tuesday for an audition? And that's what I did, and I got on, and I had the best 2 years of my life. I don't know how much learning went on, but I certainly had fun. And do you know what? I did find out a lot about myself as a person in my drama school training. I also learned technique and how to act and all of this, but I think the most important part of my training was finding out about myself and what I was like as a person. And I'm looking back at that girl I was before I went to drama school, and I'm not the same person in a good way. I grew up a lot. And dancing, for example, I'll never be a dancer.
Neither.
No, I've got 2 left to do. But what drama school did was give me the confidence to try it, and now I know as a performer what I can and what I'm not so good at doing, and I can play to my strengths. So it's got to get better. And that's what I'm kind of feeling for this year as well.
I think as well, like I say this to a lot of people, like as an industry, the creative arts is so vast and so huge, and so many people work in it, all around the world. And you kind of like got to think, you build relationships and rapport with people, and you never know when what you just believe to be a friendship doesn't turn around to say, actually, I've got this job, or I know somebody who's looking for somebody. I think you'd be, you never know when, and sometimes the opportunities that you just kind of like go, oh, do I really want to do that? Like that, and you just go, look, I'm not doing anything else, I might as well. And you think nothing really is going to come of it, and then that might lead you to so many different things. I say this to the children that I teach all the time. I'm like, please say yes to opportunities, even if at the time you're worried about it, you're nervous, you're scared, you don't want to, you don't think it's going to benefit you, you're not sure where it's going. Just say yes, because everything benefits you, even if at that time you can't quite see it.
Yeah. and say yes to things, because that's you never know who's going to be there, who's going to be watching. And I know there's a fine line between saying yes to everything and not being taken advantage of, but say yes to everything and network as much as you can, and just be like a nice person to people, because you never know who someone is.
Yeah, definitely.
Not that it matters that someone's, but just be a nice person. It's probably one of the most supportive industries I can think of. Only a handful of people that I've come across are not
pleasant.
Nice.
Yeah.
Everyone else is just like so supportive and
yeah, definitely. And I think that's the thing. When I started doing this at the start of lockdown, the initial reason was I was just going to chat to a couple of my friends who were, in the field, and we were going to send it out to all the children and they could watch it, and it was really, really cool. And like I say, it's been incredible, and that is just through generosity. Nobody's wanted money for it. No, everyone's just gone, do you know what, yeah, great, let's have a chat. And that's really, really lovely. And I say that to the children, look at that support that people that don't even know you will give you.
Absolutely, I agree. Yeah.
So before lockdown, what were you doing? What was your job? What did you do? What did you have planned?
Okay, so before lockdown, I was lucky enough to be out in Greece performing in the Phantom of the Opera. So so as I was saying earlier, I went in for the Phantom tour, but I didn't get that. But I was recommended for the Greece one because they liked my audition, and I got that job, and I couldn't believe it, really. That was my first job out of university. Insane.
It's amazing.
But I went out to Greece and had the best time. Met all these amazing people, amazing cast. People who'd work on the West End and who were the best at doing what they were doing. And I got to learn from them as well. What to tolerate, what not to tolerate, and how you should be treated and how you should be treating others as well.
Yeah.
So it was a massive learning curve for me. Phantom is just a show that I'm gonna love forever, and it was just so great getting to work with a gorgeous cast, gorgeous creatives, and it just feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah. What an amazing first job, though. What an amazing first job.
I'm so lucky. I'm one of the lucky graduates who got to do something before lockdown, and I'm so thankful every day that I got the chance to do that.
Yeah, amazing. So if you could perform with anyone, a pop singer, rock singer, musical theatre, classical, who do you think you would want to perform with?
Okay, so the first person that pops into my head is fellow Welshie Lucy Jones. I love her. I absolutely love her. I saw her in Waitress. So I was down in London for my showcase last year. I think it was May. And I got tickets to see Waitress on Today Tix.
Yep.
I just thought, I'm going to go because I love the soundtrack, and I went. And in my programme was like a piece of paper that said the role of Jenna's going to be played by Lucy Jones. And I was just like, wait, she's not meant to start for another 2 or 3 weeks. And I think it was like in her, where she was covering for Catherine McPhee or something like that. And I got to see her. Oh my God, insane. But what's funny as well, so the guy who was in, one of my great friends, Chris, who was in Phantom with me, happened to be on for Cal that night as well, and I didn't realise until we were in Greece together that I'd actually seen him. So that was great.
Wow, that's so cool. So Lucy did a tour last year of some of like Welsh venues, and I contacted her team, and the children of my company actually performed on stage with her, doing her she did all these different songs. So they did Memphis Lives in Me with her, and Seasons of Love.
Oh,
and she was very kind to them, very, very kind.
You know what? She's I've worked with her once. We did a masterclass, and for someone who's a big musical theatre name, she's always so kind, and she comes over so down to earth. And I think that's so important, you know.
Yeah.
It just goes to show that no matter how big you are, that you've always got time for other people.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think it's very, very important because, you know, like you say, you're still going to be working with different people, and a lot of those people might be just starting out in their career, you know. So
Yeah.
it yeah, nobody wants to come across, you know, not likable, do they?
No, absolutely not.
So do you still get nervous before you perform? And if you do, how do you combat those nerves?
Okay. Yeah, I do get nervous, but I get more nervous if I'm not prepared enough. So, you know, I've learned from my mistakes, and I try to, especially last minute audition material. Um, but it's just like I don't know, I try to channel that into kind of an excitement sort of feeling, so I can, I don't know, but I'm awful. I get so nervous when I sing in front of people I know. So I was launching my first album back in July 2018, and I was performing in our local pub. That was sort of the venue for the launching, and I don't think I've ever been as nervous to think, you know, these people who I've grown up
Yeah.
with and I know so well. I just felt sick,
Yeah.
so nervous. But going on stage in front of, you know, thousands of people in Greece didn't faze me at all.
Wow.
Weird, isn't it? How different
Yeah.
situations, and you know, the Eisteddfod again. The older I get, the more nervous I.
Yeah, definitely.
And you know,
Absolutely.
the words are the first things to go. So I have to make sure that I know my words inside out, because so many times I've muddled up the words and I just thought, I know that. Why did that happen?
Yeah,
You know?
definitely. Definitely. It's so true. Like it's always the words, always. You're just like, oh. And the thing is, it annoys me because you're just like, well, you know, your breathing could be fab, Jen, but if you don't know what you're singing about, it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
does it? I know. I'm exactly the same. Whenever we do any showcases or anything, or like we get people down to sing with the children, and you know, I'll sing something. It's terrifying, absolutely terrifying, because you just feel like, I always think these parents think, you know, you're teaching my kid if you're rubbish.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's pressure, I think, especially when you're speaking of when you're singing in front of people you know, because you feel like, and I know you shouldn't, but you feel like you need to kind of put on a good show for them.
Yeah.
You know, I can't do
Like
it.
prove yourself, you know,
Prove
like to prove.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas
You're
in
just
front of people who don't know you, then you've got nothing to kind of compare to. You know?
Yeah, and also like they've paid to see you. They know that you're there because you're good enough to be there. So that's kind of already that affirmation, isn't it? Like you're like, it's
Yeah.
okay. Like, you know, I've been employed to do this job, and this is fine. And also small audience, more intimate audiences are really scary because they're all like right there, and you know,
Yeah.
you can see everything that they're like, you can almost see what they're thinking. Whereas
Yes.
like when there's so many people, you're just like, what's another 100? Because you can't
And when
see
you
them
can't see
anyway.
their faces as well, do you know
Yeah.
when you're on stage and there's lights, you can't see the audience, that's usually fine. But when I have to sit there with my guitar by myself, no, can't do that.
It's like, what?
Mm.
So do you have a favorite animal?
um, I I'm very fond of owls. Don't ask me why. That's very random, but me and my friend, we keep sending each other owl gifts on WhatsApp, and it's just
Brilliant.
become a yeah, it's just become a thing now, and I think they're very cute.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm not an animal person. You know, I've got cats at home and dogs, but I'm not like an animal obsessed person.
Yeah.
There's a heron just up the road where I usually go running, and sometimes I see it and sometimes I don't. So that's become kind of a sort of game when I go running. Oh, will I see the heron? But
Yeah. So, have you got a favourite performance venue that you've either performed at or that you'd love to perform at one day?
so I'm gonna say a treasured performance venue of mine is definitely the Pink Pavilion in the Eisteddfod.
Okay.
You know, when you're growing up, I feel like if you are competing, then one of the places you really want to sing is on the stage, because that means you've got like through 3 rounds and you've got stage and you now get to sing on telly. And they don't have the pink one anymore. It's just a boring white pavilion, but it's fine. I got to sing there once or twice, but I didn't get stage. In the National Eisteddfod until I was 18, and this was my first year of university. And on my last year of sixth form, I said, that's it, I'm not doing it anymore, because I've been competing for 14 years and nothing's come of it.
Yeah.
But little did I know the next year that I got stage on 2 of my, competitions. Wow. And I was like, that's what happens when you don't give up. So
yes, definitely.
Just as you're about to give up, something big's going to come.
Yeah.
And I try to apply that, to everyday life. It happened just before Greece. I was working front of house, and I was on the phone to one of my friends on the way home, and I was just getting a bit sad, because it was so, I don't know, heartbreaking to see people my age up on stage doing what I wanted to do. Yeah. And then the next day I got a phone call from my agent saying that I got the Greece job. So
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's like you say, it just goes to show, like, if you really, really want to do it, please don't give up, because it will happen. It will come at some point.
Yeah, at some point, it's going to go in your favour. It might take 10 auditions before you get a yes. It might take, 20 or 100, but it's going to happen if you just persist.
Yeah, definitely. So what's kept you busy during lockdown?
So I've been lucky enough to be a part of the Welsh of the West End videos. And they've been keeping me going, giving me something to do. And, Steph, the guy who's been doing it with us, he's been fantastic. And it's just been so nice to get so many people, sending us messages being like, thank you so much for the videos. They've been keeping us going through lockdown. And it's been lovely to see that, they've raised some spirits somewhere, made someone smile.
Definitely.
But also, I write music as well. So
amazing.
Over the past 3 years, I've had the worst writer's block. So I recorded my first album back, I think it was 2017. And I've not really been able to write since then. I don't know why. I don't know. But I got back after Greece and I full on wrote an album. So
wow.
Yeah, I know. I'm not questioning it. But I'm going to record soon, hopefully. So it kept me busy over lockdown. That, and I started running. So
okay. Yeah. It's so funny, isn't it? Like, things just, things that you think, oh God, I'm never gonna do that. When you're put in a position where you just don't have anywhere else to go, you just open new avenues, don't you? And you just
Absolutely.
think, oh cool, I didn't even know that I could do that. Like, I was exactly the same. I did a bit of yoga and stuff before, but I wasn't really that bothered. But like during lockdown, like, it's been every day I've done it, and it's been something that you can see a progression in, and you can see, like, that you're getting better and things, and yeah. I like to see that, because you do, like, within your industry, you see that, don't you? You see your progression, so it's nice to see that in different areas as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And in something like running, I never really, I go to the gym, but I never really run. So it was something that I could be like, okay, today I want to run 5k without stopping, and I did.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of myself, because I never thought I'd be able to do it.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. So my last question for you is, what's next for you? Do you have anything coming up? You said about your album, trying to record that. That would be amazing.
Yeah, so obviously jobs-wise, it's still very quiet at the minute, so I haven't got anything really planned yet. I'm currently working as a TA and a supply teacher.
Awesome.
So, I've had to kind of change what I do.
Yeah.
And it's been scary, but I'm living it. And honestly, I don't think I've felt this secure in a very long time. So that's really nice. And, I've got no hurry to go back into performing, because I'm really enjoying what I'm doing at the minute.
Yeah.
But, I saying that if I got offered a job today, I'd be like, yes, I'm doing it now.
Yeah, yeah, of course, absolutely.
Yeah. And then I, got this album that I want to record. And, it's a new sound as well. So I'm excited to kind of find my new sound. And yeah, that's kind of, I'm just going with the flow at the minute. It's hard to, for me, a perfectionist who wants everything planned out, to kind of not know what they're doing. It's really, it makes me quite anxious a lot of the time.
Yeah.
There are bad days and there are good days, and you just got to ride the wave. And
definitely, yeah, it is tricky. It's really tricky. I know exactly how you feel in that sense of being a planner and an organizer. Dreadful. I'm awful at it. I have to know what's happening, and I think part of that is the job. When you have a company, you have to make sure everything is to the letter and everybody knows what's happening, and I kind of love that element of it. But it is hard then when you're not able to kind of see the wood from the trees. Often it's like you don't know which avenue to go down, and you've got a path that you want to follow, but unfortunately it's not quite. So it is difficult, and like you say, some days are great and you've got you've got it going on and you know what's happening, and other days it can be really, really hard and really tough.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's been probably the toughest year that I've had to face, and I know so many people as well who said, I just feel, for me personally, I just feel like now that I can't perform, I don't have a purpose. So I've had to, instead of moping about and feeling sorry for myself, I've had to just go out and find another purpose until I can, and that's what you've got to do. And I know our industry is good at, adapting anyway, because most of us have to work second jobs. But I feel like it's okay to feel sad and feel that, you don't have a purpose, but you need to get up and, we'll come back. It's going to happen. Yeah. But just for now, you've got to find another way, and don't be embarrassed to kind of find another job. Because I thought if I'm going to go into teaching, people are going to think that I've given up. When in reality, I'm just doing what I have to do to survive. So
absolutely. And also what you've got to remember is your purpose is still waiting there for you.
Oh yeah.
You haven't given up on that purpose. It's just at the moment it's on hold because it has to be. It's not a choice. Nobody, you wouldn't have chosen to do that. It's just on hold up until that phone rings again and you're away.
Yeah, exactly. And I like my dream was to be on the West End. I don't know if it is anymore, because I don't know if it's going to be there or when it's going to be there. So I just kind of just going with the flow and not stressing too much about something that's out of my control.
Definitely. And like you say, you've got a job at the moment that you never thought you'd want to do, but you're really enjoying it. So that's, in that sense, that's a really good positive, that you found something that you're really enjoying for the now, and that's great.
Yeah, exactly. So I might, do my PGCE next year, just to have that under my belt, and we'll see. We'll go from there. And it's good to have it, isn't it? So
definitely. Oh well, thank you so much for chatting with me. I've had such a lovely time. No worries at all. I always say thank you so much for saying yes. So it's been a real pleasure, and I'll let you know when it goes up on the channel. I'll send you the link, and I'd love to stay in touch.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're in Wales, I'm in Wales.
If you're around in Wales, we can do some workshops and stuff with the kids if you want to do some bits and bobs. I know they'd love that.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to do that. And
amazing. That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much, and
thanks for having me.
No worries at all. Have a good day, and I'll speak to you soon.
Okay. All right then.
Awesome.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you so much, Glain, for chatting with me today, and the best of luck for your future career. Thank you all so much for watching. Please make sure, if you haven't already done so, click like, subscribe and hit the little bell. Best wishes everybody, and I'll see you again soon.